knockouts.
Yep, and it feels really difficult because every single team, every single matchup, the opponents are just, they seem to get stronger and stronger. And if the next matchup after this series is to head into the welcoming arms of Nova Esports, this is going to be quite the challenge, right? So Team HAQ, this is game number 2. They have reverted to the red side, counter pick side. So DMT have prior pick for this one. They will take up the Liang. You know what that tells me? I think you know.
Yeah. So some high mobility heroes coming through, whether it be TNX's Luna, whether it be the Maisha in mid, they definitely want to go for something that isn't going to be suppressing them. But I mean, hey, THQ, they drafted Dream Wanderer. They may as well go and draft the Dong Huang, right? Like, may as well go, if they can't have one suppression, take the other one because they love these picks.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, Dominator. I thought they wanted to talk to the moon, but it looks like they will not take that pick for TNX. So something else is cooking in that pot for DMT. Team HAQ, though, what is this next ban? Is it going to be the higher? No. Interesting. They want to leave it open. So that's going to be the Lapu Lapu or the Rifa Datu taken out. So Twilight Dolia, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, honestly, it could be the Twilight Dolia here. Obviously, there's a lot of pairings. They could go like we've already alluded to, the Nerdser. They could even take the Lung as well, right? Obviously, CEC had a fantastic game into the farm lane. Why not give him some extra reassurance that he can have 2 Infinite Vastness rather than 1, especially going up against something like the Zhangfei and the Haya here as well, the Evernight Aspiration.
Actually, I would even go as far as to say they could take up the Yuhuan here for the side of Dominator Esports, right? Team HAQ, I think they're ready to give away the Twilight, and the game plan is very clear. We can get them the Twilight, but it is a necessary step that Man, who is going to be handling this Evernight Aspiration for sure, that he locks him up in the team fights. So you lower the healing effectiveness and that ultimate usage from TNX.
Very true, but obviously he does have his CC immunity before he goes into God mode, so before you can even proc the CC immunity here, the CC onto him, you've got to kind of like make sure he goes into God mode, which is then another problem, you know? That's just another layer to the cake here of the Twilight Yang Jian, but Dolia is definitely going to be giving the Celestial Melody over to either these 2 players, right? Because obviously there is the Aoyin, the Lung coming through as well, so again, potential late game performance here for CC.
So do you just go for a huge burst potential like the Garden Mo or even the Nua for the side of Dominator Esports here?
Yeah.
So many options.
You could do, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in terms of wave clear, you want to kind of have something that matches higher here as well, right? I mean, you could even go for the Garuda, right? Obviously, it's been having a big presence today. Obviously, wave clear is fantastic in terms of trying to kind of like give aid to your teammates, but then also using that Featherstorm there is also going to be able to kind of like drive away the enemy team.
Yeah, I like this ban from Team HAQ here, taking out a Tsuya as well as a Lady Chen here, Cascada and Divine Enforcer, both of which are great answers against the Ogren, also known as Soul Guide.
Yes.
But once again, this is a point of the game where we are at HOK, so many more options to explore. Team HAQ, they're going to take up the Aaron, the Laurel Princess. Is this going to be enough?
They can only hope so, right? Obviously, we have seen some positive performance here from the Aaron so far within the tournament. Is it going to be what they need here? Obviously, burst potential here for the ultimate could be a problem for Dominator Esports. If they do manage to find it, that's sort of like sneaky sort of like target that's roaming around. They can do a lot of damage, but again, it's getting those items on the Aaron here. But again, the Mighty Conqueror coming through here for Tufts and potentially the Store Chet Angela into the mid lane. Again, that's frightful, easy combo. When you just sitting in the brush, able to kind of just get the lockdown onto somebody, it's going to eradicate them, especially these squishier heroes.
Yep, and okay, for those of you that are new to HOK, Scorched, also known as the Angela, is one of the prime heroes to be a tank shredder. So the life of the beast, Zhang Fei, the life of Ogren, the soul guide for the side of Team HAQ, Bai as well as No Hyun might not have the best time if Joe as the Scorched gets the full combination.
Yeah, if you get hit by that full combination, that's it. It's pretty much GG. I'll see you at base in a few moments, depending on depending on how far you are within the game. But yeah, something like the Orgrin gets hit by that. I mean, even the Path of Passing is not going to be quick enough to get you out of there as well, right? Like, if you see that Path of Passing come through and Orgrin comes straight down that runway, you know for a fact Joel is going to be aiming that combo right at that point.
Okay, but if we take a look at what's happening here, Team HAQ, they have a good start to the early game as well, right? Because Soul Guy the Orgrin, when he uses his Path of Passing at level 1, I think he definitely has a much faster wave clear, jungle clear compared to TNX on this Twilight Yangjian. So I'm curious to see if Bai does not make use of his early game advantage, then Team HAQ is going to have a very, very tough time once again. He needs to be aggressive this game.
Oh, very aggressive. He needs to make sure that the Orgrin's a statement piece, right? Soul Guide is a statement piece. Like you said, having that way of actually be able to kind of like faster wave clear, create your own kind of like ways around the gorge as well, just to kind of aid your ability to clean up your own jungle, but potentially put pressure onto the enemy jungle. You need to be doing that with the Orgrin. You can't kind of just like put him in a box and he's a trophy piece. You know, he's got to be that statement piece for the side of the THQ if they want to try and get a victory here against Dominator Esports.
All right, so we have already set it in stone. We know that Team HAQ, this draft, this composition, they have the potential. But as we said, everyone has potential. They have to make it work. DMT here, this is potential series point if they take this game against Team HAQ. And it feels like their draft is completely available for them to do so.
Absolutely. I mean, they have the potential, right? Obviously, late game potential of the Rose Fencer. Obviously, the Charlotte here for John, actually going for a conventional Clash laner this time around. Big ups to your boy. But then obviously, Mon on the higher. You've really got to be making sure they're going for the correct chess piece here onto the side of DMT.
You need to clear the wave. It's so important, and this is exactly what they need to do. So by actually going in for the first touch sport camp steal, which is great, that's exactly what needs to be done. Right now, it's about protecting the other buffs as well, and knowing which camp is DMT TNX starting with.
Yeah, it's basically like where they're going. That's the one thing that I think like THQ we did need to know as well, right? It's like the intel enemy team here. Mon looking pretty low. I mean, that could be a kill there, but I mean, there's not much firepower onto the side of DMT just yet to claim those kills, but they're definitely going to be able to kind of put a lasting impression onto the side of THQ for now.
Okay, luckily for this other Team HAQ, that is going to be Man who actually takes that camp for his side. So even though it is not going into the hands of Lola, it's better in their hands than in the hands of DMT.
Oh, absolutely. They want to make sure they maintain this resource lead, or at least try and kind of gather a resource lead like they have right now. It's around about pretty much non-existent, but it keeps flickering and flirting with about 100 gold difference, which is not kind of like where you want to be. You want to kind of make sure it kind of like goes higher here, but it's a good stepping stone here for THQ in this early game.
Yeah, well, at least in the farm lane, it's definitely in favor towards CC. At this point, he does have more camps taken in comparison to Lola. So this is not going to be an easy game for Lola in the farm lane once again. But Team HAQ, I think the rest of the map is pretty much in their control.
It is for now, right? Obviously, they do have the... Well, mini waves now are naturally crashing into each other, so they don't really have the priority there, but maybe taking the space bright is going to give them the ample need that they need to go across the gorge here. Obviously, they are able to get the extra bit of resources, also gain themselves the needed teleportation, which they might need down to this bot side here, right? I mean, CC is making sure work of this T1, regardless of it having those shielding mechanics.
Yeah, but you know, the big damage is here, which is CC has taken yet another Spike Tail Beast against the camps of Team HAQ here, which means CC is already having a steady growth. Take a look at the gold difference here in the farm lane. He's already more than 1,000 ahead of his counterpart Lola, and that's not a good sign for Team HAQ.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. CC, up around about 600 gold at this point. Obviously, yes, it's probably the difference maker of maybe a tier 1, tier 3, tier 2 item, but it's definitely something you want to kind of put a cap on or a kibosh on here if you are THQ, because that's only going to kind of snowball out of control, especially if they allow CC to get to that late game potential too early.
Yep, and CC is not even the main problem here, right? If you take a look at the itemization just now, no other roam for the side of Team HAQ. He actually went for the Boots of Fortitude, which tells you that if Joe lands his full combination, no is actually going to be gone.
Yeah, absolutely rinsed, right? Like, obviously, the maybe build magic resistance first item after your support item, maybe here, if you are Nua, just to kind of have a little bit of chance of survivability for the side of THQ. Because, I mean, the front line, obviously, as soon as Nua falls and you don't have that unbridled outburst, I mean, Pi here, he's going to take a bit of a beating as well, especially if it wasn't Jill with that combo that shut down Nua, right?
Yeah, if it's not Jill, it's definitely Tusk, right? Or CC, because the both of them can actually deal consistent damage over time. That's going to be a cause of concern. Here we go!
Oh, absolutely rinsed there. Mom was just like, let me book you a ticket to the Shadow Realm. And then Jill was like, no, let me take you to the graveyard. Mon getting taken down first blood here for the side of DMT as the neutral objective just gets onto the Gorge. A good pacing of a pay here.
Yep, turn to Ash instantly, and that's the strength of having a score chat on your team, right? The Angela for the side of DMT. Now, with that success comes more success, right? The success begets success. They get the first time of the game as well for the side of DMT. Now, Team HAQ, what is this rotation that's going to happen? Because Jill, he might get a free kill here. Oh!
He might do indeed there. He gets by locked. I mean, Mom was the first victim. Now it is bye-bye for bye. As his blue buff comes up as well. Is this something they're going to contest here? THQ John trying to go in to get the kill here. Onto CC. He gets the dunk. But can they reclaim that Azure Golem? But no, he goes over to the side of DMT for now. John, Nua as well as Lola have to get out of here scot-free.
Yeah, it's going to be painful. They did get a consolation prize in the form of CC on this Lung, which is great. But Team HAQ, the big problem here is Bai is not at the lead that he needs to be. He's supposed to be having the EXP advantage, but because TNX is not supposed to have a faster jungle clear. But when you're out of the game for even, what, 10-15 seconds, that's one extra camp that TNX has against you. And if you take a look at the vision, Team HAQ don't have any.
They have none. They have literally none at the moment because obviously minion waves aren't quite into the middle of the lane here. Obviously CC down to the bot side was able to open up that T1 down there as well. And looking at that clash lane T1, that's not going to be holding on for much longer either. I mean, that's either CC rotates up, Tough stays in lane. They get a few kills here potentially once the primal bond's been worn off now from that Tyrant. So it's all to play for here for DMT. I mean, this is definitely DMT's game to lose if they choose to give the opportunity.
Yep, this is oppression maximized, right? Because if you take a look at what's happening now, DMT, they have the goal lead, they also have the EXP lead, which means they need lesser members to get a successful team fight.
Yep, oppression pro max, I think, is the right term for this on the side of DMT. They are definitely oppressing the side of THQ for now. You can kind of see Nua and Bai at the back side here, just trying to potentially see an opening up here. Obviously, Nua does have the Unbridled Outburst. It could be a potential big setup here, looking to try and reclaim that Azure Golem.
They can try, but Bai is not looking too good. Does manage to get it at this point, but the damage?
Oh, the damage is very scary here from TNX. Obviously flies into the back there. He's able to do quite a considerable amount of damage onto Bai here, but he's able to heal up for now. He's able to just go back into his own jungle and just kind of take a bit of a breather here. But that that bot T2 means that Lola on this Aaron has no safe place just to sit and farm. They're constantly going to be with their team, and when they're behind by around about 700 gold, still is not the position you want to be in.
And definitely not, right? At this point, it's going to be close to a 2,000 goalie going for the side of DMT. Tubbs already has the Frost Gun Brace, so he's going to be tanky. He's going to slow them down as well. So Team HAQ has quite a few problems at this point. Now, in terms of the roam value, they're evenly matched in terms of gold. But because of the huge gold advantage going to the side of DMT, they just naturally win the team fights here.
Absolutely. I mean, another big problem is the fact that we just saw the Master Sword being built there on CC, right? Not only does he have the Eternity Blade, he now has that item as well. So that's a lot of damage going on to the basic attacks here. Into the backline is going to be TNX as they're able to just take that T2 top side of the map there. Just really trying to be a bit of a funnel here for the side of DMT, but into the backline is going to be the buy. But there's Tubbs doing his job. He gets a takedown. He dashes over the wall, but it's going to be Mon that takes him to the Shadow Realm. John is looking for an angle in onto his teammates, but they are stalking Mon out of this Shadow Realm. He comes through. The Moonscape Mirage is going to send him back to the Abyss here. DMT picking up the 2 kills for 1.
Yeah, they can't do anything here, right? By being taken down as one of the main tanks of the game is really a problem. But Nono is so low, there is no defense to be had at this point. CC is just getting free hits, and Team HAQ, they have no answers.
No answers just yet. But the T3 maybe falling here as well, thanks to that turret there. But now it's going to be the eyes on the prize here into the mid lane. DMT are not looking at stopping to take any monopoly just yet.
You don't have to, right? Why would you give space to Team HAQ at this point? You're already up by 5,000 gold. You have access into the Azure buff as well. And you know what? TNX with an Azure buff, great. Buy without one, that is tough to have. And this is all before the 10-minute mark. Shadow variants are not even out yet.
I might just feel sorry for them, you know? I mean, it's like when you take your friend to like McDonald's, like a restaurant, right? And they got no money, and you're like, you know what? Okay, I'll get you your food, right? Okay, it's fine. Don't worry. I don't want to see you sad whilst I'm tucking into my meal. So maybe that's what they would do. But like you said, DMT, it's just not that kind of guy. They're like, hey, I'm gonna buy 2 meals, but they're both a meal.
Yep, DMT have lost too much in 2024 and 2025. They need to win this right now. One of the biggest threats happening.
Yes, onto the back line, John, looking like it's getting taken down here. Infinite Fastness, there it is, the aggression from CC. Puts the Flaming Palms down onto Nua just to try and get some of that health bar off of the table here as well. But again, they're just looking to get men off of the board here, off of the Gorge, as they look to keep pushing this T2 into the mid lane. The takedown here as well, the Daybreaker being built here by CC. He is online.
Yeah, he definitely is, right? And he's not even a main problem here. The main problem for the side of Team HAQ is actually Joe. This Angela, Scorchet, nobody has been able to catch him. And he has been laying down all of the Chaos Cinders that are necessary. The stuns coming in, combo with the Blazing Brilliance. He's shredding them down to bits.
Absolutely. Like, this combo is scary. Like, the fact is that we don't see it that often within competitive play, but when it comes out, when they've got such a big front line from the likes of the Beast and the Soul Guide here, it's really good at catching out, especially those that aren't face checking, right? Like, Bai has been taken down to, like, I think at least like once or twice here by Jill on this Scorchet.
You know, 6,000 gold ahead for the side of DMT with more problems incoming with the mid lane push. Shadow Overlord is flying down. Team HAQ, the time is ticking.
Time is ticking. The Unbridled Burst does connect onto 2, but it's no follow-up here from the side of THQ. John here. Rose Fencer tries to get it onto CC, but it's taking too much damage here. The sustain's not going to come through. He meets his maker. John and Mon fall down as well. CC onto the back line, takes down Bai, but with the help of Tough, and there it is. Double kill goes over the Lola. That is a team wipe, and there is the crystal of game number 2, DMT 2-0.
Easy win for the side of DMT. This was a beautiful performance and showing you why a good draft is so important. DMT now at series point as they lead the series 2-0.
Yep, a bit of a hard place for THQ to be in right now, but Nongshim was exactly in this same place just moments ago. So THQ, pull your socks up, boys. Try and get a game from DMT.
Yeah, it's going to be very important here as we go for the reset into game number 3. But before that, let's cover a little bit about this game here, because there's so many things we have to consider. Team HAQ, it feels like at every portion of the game, they're being beat down, right? The draft, it's so difficult to execute. You know, the gold, the camps, everything going to the side of DMT.
Absolutely. When you've got everything that's very important with the game of Honor of Kings, whether it be EXP, whether it be gold, whether it be just your little objectives, whether it be like the matter of a Spike Tail Beast being taken away from you, whether it's your blue buff being taken away from you, DMT was just like, if it's there, I'm taking it. They were playing very greedy in this game number 2 and just showing that, hey, even if they go for a conventional draft, even if they go for the new hero higher in the mid lane, it's still not going to be enough to take down DMT.
Yeah, and it feels like this game, at least for me, in my POV, I think Joe has to be the MVP of this game, right? It all started with Joe, that first blood, landing the Chaos Cinders into the Blazing Brilliance. Ultimate down. Holy, Man was not expecting that.
No, I don't think anybody was. I think man was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I was alive, I blink, I'm dead, you know? Like, that's how much damage comes through from the Scorcher. And it was just a good draft here from DMT. Obviously, as soon as they saw the Ogryn as well as the Zhongfei come through, they knew they needed some kind of anti-tank, right? Obviously, they tried to ban out the Divine Enforcer, the Suya, but they had the answer there for the side of DMT, and it was the Scorcher.
Yeah, and this is going to open up a lot more doors. So even more lessons for the side of Team HAQ today in this day number 4 as we head into the next round of knockouts where results really matter in the games itself. But let's cover about the gold and items for this side for DMT. Let's take a look at what was built for Jill here. Just the Venomous Staff straight into Savant's Wrath. Crazy.
Oh yeah, the anti-heal into the damage is probably the correct avenue to go here, obviously with the Magic Pen boots as well, just to kind of deal just a little bit more damage that you need to. Like, obviously with that combo, you don't really need to do the damage, you just need to land that combo successfully and just hope that they just take the Blazing Brilliance to the face, like we saw multiple times for some of the members onto THQ. But look at that damage, 61k, but still fails in comparison to CC's 87k. This guy was throwing palms across the gorge.
Yeah, from range, right? I mean, the reach that this guy had was insane. But also, the space that CC was allowed in this game number 2. This all came because of the success of the different members on the side of DMT. TNX naturally does not have a faster wave clear against Bai. But the moment Bai slows down in terms of jungle farm, yeah, you're going to start losing things across the map.
Oh, losing plenty across the map. And that's exactly what was unfortunately here for THQ, is they did lose a lot across the map. As you can see, if you get a magnifying glass, ladies and gentlemen, around about just past that 000 mark, you can see a little bit of white go into the favor of THQ there. It's because they did have a minute lead at one point because they were contested DMT. So they had the right momentum and the right code, but it was just a fact that DMT seized the opportunity and didn't allow them for that climb to grow any further in their favor.
Yeah, Joe just wrestled that lead from them, right? At the start of the game, Bai was doing well. He went in for the steal on that board camp. Not too much of a response coming in from DMT at that point, but it didn't really matter because once Joe got that first blood, it was pretty unfortunate because that's when you already have number 1 and numbers advantage. You get the extra EXP and gold going into the hands of Jill. Then once the tank shredder is shredding, how do you come back from that?
You don't. You've been shredded, right? You are shredded. You have a cooldown on your health, and then you've just got to wait and just hope you don't fall into the same combo again, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is 4 times the invasion rate. TNX, he took it personally, right? You take 1 ball camp, all right, I'm going to take all your camps.
Oh, absolutely. Like, literally, like I said, they played very greedy here, you know? Like, we saw from the beginning, THQ decided to be a little bit kind of like adventurous, tried to be a little bit zesty there, like, oh, I'm stealing a few of your camps, what are you going to do? And then TNX was like, all right, bet, let's see where you are in about 5 minutes time. I'm going to just take everything that you own into my favor. It's not even going to go over to me. The majority of the gold was going over to CC there. Obviously, he did have the bigger difference into that farm lane as well. And as you just saw there, deletion of Lola towards the end, but head-to-head here, kill participation for L, he was always in the mix, whereas Nua, he was maybe a little bit lost, needs the GPS, because it was only 50% of the participation kills.
Very different. And of course, with that being said, Jill will be your MVP. This guy, I mean, he has been on a tear in the mid lane, slowly but surely improving. And this year might be his year, 2026, 2-1-3, dealing a total of 61,000 damage. But the damage is not the thing. It's the catches he made and the timing of which he made those catches.
Yeah, it's sitting in those important brushes as well, right? And that's the beauty. I mean, I say beauty. I get caught out by this combo so many times when the enemy team is sat in a brush, and it's just the one brush you always fail to check. And you know, in the back of your mind, Scorchet, Angela is going to be in that brush, but you don't check it anyway because why not? Live life on the edge. But unfortunately for THQ, they aren't able to afford that living life on the edge because obviously, yes, there is no elimination in the group stage, but going into the elimination, if they fall to this again, it's pretty much adios.
Yeah, I mean, this is why it's so scary, right? Because Jill was actually under level. He was 1 level behind Bai. but still got the kill because of the full combination on the side of this Angela score Chet. And from then on, it really was, okay, CC, what are you gonna do, boy?
Exactly, yeah, it was pretty much all up to CC. He was pretty much just being given a bit of a free ride in this game, right? Like, I don't feel like he was taken down, he wasn't contested. The Infinite Bastard saved him multiple times here, and as soon as we saw the Dolia come through as the first pick in this draft, it was kind of like all she wrote, right? Like, we knew the Lung would come through, we knew the Yang Jian would be there, and it paid off dividends.
Yeah, and at this end, CC was just too big to handle for the side of Team HAQ. So this puts them in a great position for the side of Dominator Esports, 2-0 in this series as we head on into game number 3. This is series point for Dominator Esports.
Exactly, but like I said for THQ,